So I hear you've been visiting the Viscount's gardens, Daisy.
Oh, they're enormous. And they're always empty. Why don't you see them?
Probably because they're private and surrounded by guards.
I thought all those men looked a bit cross. Are you one of Yevon's sons?
Mistress Hawk? Please help me. My brother, Marin. Iwan locked him in with the Darkspawn. He sealed the door, left me here and bolted for that passage. He's gone mad. All he cares about is that damned sword.
Last time I was here, we picked this place clean. What's your brother looking for?
Iwan called it the Heart Drinker. He says it's the masterwork of an ancient smith from this Tig. He bought a book from one of the Orzammar caravans. It had the location of the sword. Or at least to the golems who guard it.
Is your brother insane or just cruel?
He wouldn't tell us about the sword, but I never imagined he'd leave us to rot.
This is getting just a little too familiar, isn't it?
Please. I don't want my brother to be eaten by those monsters.
Marin is certainly dead already. I'm going to stop Iwan from getting that sword.
You're going to let Marin die for your greed? You're as bad as Iwan. That passage is filled with Darkspawn. I hope they eat you.
We should go after both if we can.
I need to find someone who'll help.
I thought I was done for. Those sodding Darkspawn jumped me out of nowhere. Nearly took my arm off. My apologies. You saved my life, and I don't even introduce myself. I'm Iwan.
After what Emery's told me, I wasn't sure I'd find you in time.
Emery's is still alive? Good. That's good. I am grateful for your timely arrival, but I'm sure Emery's needs your help more. Fool still believes Marin can be saved. I'll only be a little longer, I'm sure. Then I can catch up and help you retrieve Marin's body.
Emery said you were after a weapon. I'm here to make sure it doesn't fall into the wrong hands.
It's a Dwarven artifact. It should be in Dwarven hands.
How incredibly noble of you. The ancestors would be proud.
There has to be other treasure here you can hawk. Leave me to mine.
I can't just leave you alone. The Darkspawn will be back in larger numbers.
No, I've come so far. There are more. So many more than I thought. You know what? Fine. The weapon is yours if you can get to it. This isn't worth my life.
But it was worth your brother's life.
The man who told me about the sword sold me a control rod for a golem that protects it. You want the sword, you need the rod. What do you say? Everything I paid plus 10% for pain and suffering?
Varric will settle on a price with you.
All right, it's yours. Use the rod on the first golem, but you pass the others.
It seems fairly unimpressive now. Try using the rod on it.
Darkspawn smashed the chest.
Maybe there's still something to salvage in this mess. Not going to happen. I found your patrol. They won't be coming back.
You have stolen my duty, Basra. We were supplied for this task, but you have done this instead. Take what was meant for us.
All are forbidden, except you.
So, I was wrong about our thief.
It appears so.
They say we were careless with our trap, that this is our fault. But even with Sarkamek, there would have been death. This elf was determined to lay blame at our feet.
But your feet didn't do anything wrong, did they?
I admire conviction with a focus, but your kind are truly committed to weakness.
Why aren't you more concerned about her supporters?
Our enemies strike from shadow because they cannot stand before us. This is not a revelation. And it doesn't matter. I am not here to fight. I am here to satisfy a demand you cannot understand.
It's been a long time.
It will take as long as needed. No ship is coming. There is no rescue from duty to the Qun. I am stuck here.
That is not the understanding of city leaders and their supporters.
Let them rot. Filth stole from us. Not now, not the Sarkamek. Years ago. A simple act of greed has bound me. We are all denied Parvolin until I alone recover what was lost under my command. That is why this elf and her shadows are unimportant. That is why I do not simply walk from this pustule of a city. Fixing your mess is not the demand of the Qun, and you should all be grateful! Thank you, human, for your service. Leave.
That's an Oxmanarch. The Viscount.
That corner looks dusty. Years of nice, quiet anxiety. Gone. Along with a whole street.
The Qunari were blameless.
Right. A mad elf pushed by zealots, likely hidden in the very groups I have to appease. The Maker has a grand sense of humor. And the Arishok. I suspected he had no plans to leave. I didn't know it was just as annoying for him.
Keep the worst of them off his back, and it'll be all right.
But that is the problem. It has already escalated, despite your efforts. A shame.
What happened?
A Qunari delegate and entourage paid me a visit. It was civil, tentative, hopeful. They left my chambers with precision, but were not reported by the outer guard. They are missing almost literally from my doorstep. What do you imagine will be the Arishok's reaction?
Do the Qunari generally keep you updated?
Qunari do not disappear. They know we watch, and they are not shy about their movement. Speak to Seneschal Bran. He has details that show how damning this is. I don't know who would benefit from fighting the Qunari, but it will cost all of us.
Always where you need.
You have information about the missing Qunari?
I am to help you, yes. Viscount Dumas would appreciate discretion in this matter. I would prefer that you were not involved at all, but that is neither here nor there.
I'm having a hard time picturing the abduction of a Qunari entourage.
Unfortunately, they were not at their best. Their swords were tied into their sheaths, as I advised. It seemed a respectful compromise. Even I know you cannot separate a Qunari from his weapon.
Has anyone reported this to the Qunari?
Maker, no. I'd be signing the messenger's death warrant. He'll find out soon enough, of course. And when he does, the Viscount is rightly concerned that the illusion of peace will dissolve.
The Arishok is growing violent. He might want an excuse to end this peace.
I suspect that if the Arishok wanted to take over, he simply would. For all we fear that heretical Qun of his, its demands have done more to keep him in check than any of our efforts. Besides, would Qunari stoop to trickery? There is no precedent, but there is unfortunate evidence of influence on our side.
It sounds like you don't want them found.
I must think of what is best for the Viscount's office. Bringing attention to such an incident benefits no one.
You would do nothing.
The Qunari are neutral hostiles at best. There is no relationship to salvage by overextending ourselves on their behalf.
I'm having a hard time picturing the abduction of a Qunari entourage.
Unfortunately, it seemed a respectful compromise. Even I know you cannot separate a Qunari from his weapon.
I'm sure you have suspicions about what happened.
My concerns are well-founded. This could not have escaped the notice of the city guard. Unless they were involved.
Have any report?
Several. You should start with one of them. Although where you find a swordsman so eager to sell his honor and duty, I'm sure I don't know.
The Hanged Man.
Hanged Man.
Got to be.
Right. Then you know what to look for. I can't imagine this has occurred without notice. There is always a weak link. Please keep this quiet. The Viscount have scrutiny as it is.
Seamus, wasn't it? The Viscount's boy?
You're here rather often, Sirrah Hawk. A good influence, I think. Even by not taking sides, you helped start something. I still accept no blame for defending Qunari. And I don't miss the kinship of the people who oppose what I believe.
You're determined to be a thorn in someone's side. Good for you.
I'm the son of the Viscount. My actions are dissected no matter what I believe. I may as well try to do some good. If I offend, well, some people try very hard to be offended. There are other ways to see the world. The Qunari have shown me that. Another time, when things
Just tell me if you hear more rumblings from the coterie about protection. Blondie's got enough trouble. Let me ask you something, Hawk. You made it into Hightown. I'd expect anyone else to get complacent, but you must have plans.
I go into business for myself. You must have pointers on that, don't you, Varric?
A business is like a puppy. Take your eyes off it, and soon there's shit all over your floor. To be honest, I thought there might be a chance you'd want to go back to Ferelden now that things have calmed down. It's good to hear you're sticking around.
What would I do without my trusty dwarf? I'd cry myself to sleep without you.
Oh, don't get all teary-eyed on me, Hawk. You know I can't stand to see a human cry. So, we've got a whole city-state full of trouble to get into. Shall we get started? Hawk, I've got some news. You might not want to be near anything breakable when I tell you, though.
Why don't I buy you a pint and we'll talk?
You just keep making this harder. Although I won't say no to a pint, if you're buying. I've had an ear out for Bartrand. After the Deep Roads, he ran to Ravain, probably because he knew I couldn't track him. But I hear he might be back in Kirkwall. He called in loans from a few of his contacts in Hightown.
Was he staying in Hightown, or just passing through?
If my information is good, and it's always good, he has a house there. Which gives us a good shot at having a word, sweet brother.
How are you holding up, Varric?
Me? My no-account backstabbing brother is practically in arm's reach. I couldn't be better.
Would Bartrand really risk coming back here?
I think we both know by now that Bartrand would risk anything for money. There's a much better market here for that trinket he stole, and all his contacts are in Kirkwall.
We need some answers from your brother.
I agree. Bianca's been missing him something awful. Let's stop by his new house. Welcome him back to the neighborhood and all that. Rich spending. It's a bit over your head, isn't it?
That's right, pal. Tonight I'm paid and blessed, and all I had to do was turn my head. To all my friends. Hey, step back. I know important people. We're gonna show this city what to do with heathen Oxman.
Guard Captain, would you like to have a word with your man?
Guard Captain?
Who?
What?
Who?
Who what? I don't...
Who bought you? Who bought the honor of a proud guard of Kirkwall and made him a drunken Mabari bitch?
I don't know. He was a Templar, I swear. He had the seal of the Grand Cleric and everything. It's true.
The penalty for abandoning your post is 10 days on the wall. I expect you to report in the morning. There's your answer. A Templar.
With the Grand Cleric's seal, no less. Well done. Isabella, you look well.
Are you talking about the flush on my cheeks? It must be the whiskey. Do you remember the relic I told you about? The one I need to find? I've been following a lead. I'm so close I can taste it.
Isn't that what you said last time?
Oh, you mean when I went digging for that stash?
Yes. that turned out to contain several badly written poems and an old boot.
It could have contained the relic. Look, I know how you feel about this, but it's important to me, and I'm going to need your help when the time comes. Just promise me you'll consider it.
Do I get a kiss from the feisty temptress when I present her with the hard-won prize?
If you want. I'll even let you choose where I plant it.
Bianca,
I have something for you.
Ooh, what's this? Oh, isn't that just the cutest thing?
You can't see it, but below deck there's a perfect replica of you, with a dozen sailors in attendance.
You tease. I'm sure there isn't. It is a worthy goal to work towards, however. Thank you, Hawk. This was a thoughtful gesture.
I'll tell her you said so, Dave.
she can't hear you, can she?
Of course she can. What kind of question is that?
Wait, are we talking about your crossbow or something else now? Why do you always win at cards?
Because I cheat, kitten. This trinket, it's elven, isn't it? From your clan. Don't bet anything you're not prepared to lose. Here, have it back. A jigger of your finest whiskey for my friend over here. The Hanged Man's finest isn't much, but it'll get you just as drunk as anything you'll find in Hightown.
And you'll wake up and find someone stolen your trousers.
That's when you know it's a party. I thought I'd have to watch myself around you, but as it turns out, you're all right.
What do you mean I'm all right?
You don't judge people. You're not afraid to get your hands dirty. You know, little things like that. If I had someone like you on board my ship when the storm hit, maybe we wouldn't have been shipwrecked.
Maybe you would have been shipwrecked sooner. I'm a terrible sailor.
Are you? I suppose I'll have to keel haul you till you shape up. Have you ever been out in the open ocean in a storm? It's the best feeling in the world. So the Seneschal's tax collector was coming around again like you asked. Funny story.
I'll pass, but thank you for the help.
Spoil sport. Why you up here in Hightown is beyond me.
I like the view.
So do I.
Three years. There's still no sign of Denarius. I'm beginning to wonder if he's finally given up.
This is his mansion, isn't it? He must know you're here.
Would you be surprised to learn that it isn't, in fact, his mansion? It belonged to a merchant, evidently. Perhaps Denarius killed him. Either way, if Denarius is aware of my presence, he has done nothing.
Don't tell me you're going to miss all the attention.
Tell me, what do you do when you stop running?
You weren't always a slave, were you?
My first memory is receiving these markings, the lyrium being branded into my flesh. The agony wiped away everything. Whatever life I had before I became a slave, it's lost. I shouldn't trouble you with this. My problems are not yours.
You don't know who you were?
Fenris was the name Daenerys bestowed upon me, his little wolf. If I once had another name or a family, then they were taken from me. But again, this is not your concern.
You help me, I help you.
I don't need your help. But enough. You have much to keep you busy, I'm certain. We should move on.